everybody. Welcome to the Triple B Experience Unscripted 17. I'm Gary. This man down here is Caleb Thomas, a.k.a. Cable. And the man over to my right, I don't know where he's at on your screen, but he's over to my right.
I'm here somewhere in the middle.
Mr. Triple B himself, Bad Bubba Brewer. How's it going, gentlemen?
It's going good, brothers. How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Good. It's a Friday night. Hanging out with you guys. Can't get much better than that, right?
Well, absolutely.
Well, maybe it could. I don't know.
Oh shit!
Well, depends.
Well, excuse the shit out of me, Bubba.
No, but I'm just saying.
He didn't want to hang out with us. He'd rather be doing other things like watching Pam and Tommy right now.
For stretching.
Well, let me talk like 1 second on that. She is so, and I'm going to say it, effing hot. I'm not going to get in trouble. And I can't believe Hulu has that kind of entertainment on there instead of like I watch wrestling all the time. I can't wait to watch the episodes of this. Cable, have you seen any of this?
No, not yet.
Oh my God! Get some popcorn. It's fucking good.
I'm ready. I've been waiting for this for like a year. When they first released the original pictures of them in their makeup and prosthetics and stuff.
Yeah, you sent it to us.
Hell yeah, yeah. Because I mean, Pamela Anderson kickstarted my puberty, so.
I got some issues in my totes downstairs I do. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, man, she's a Playmate. Centerfold like 2-3 years running.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It gets Bubs 2 thumbs up, maybe 3.
Oh yeah. I'm 2 episodes in. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to say Bucky Barnes, man, he's something else. That's all I got to say.
But anyway, we're saying it again. We're not just another podcast. We are an experience. But yeah, gentlemen, I just got. I don't even got something to say. I'm just going to do this. Hold on. Maybe. Okay. Boom.
There we go.
What do we got to say about that, huh?
I think the artist that you got to do that was phenomenal.
I think it's awesome. I think
I have
a really nice
beautiful.
Job. It's great.
For those of you who haven't really looked at this closely, because they're probably glimmering into Bubba's eyes there or something. But we have, Cable and I are on horses, and Bubba's riding a jackass in this, and it was his idea. It wasn't even ours.
Yes, it was. Because I was looking for the comical take on that, and I just don't understand why the horses are higher than the jackass. My sister, I talked to my sister yesterday. She's like, I didn't even know, Jay, you're riding I go, yeah, Cal, I'm riding a jackass. And then my dad, get this. This is fucking funny. My dad's like, hey, Rose, because my mom shows my dad's not real, into computers and that, Rose, your kid, that picture that you showed me of your kid is the best he looked in years. It's a fucking cartoon picture. And my old man, like, I don't understand it. So that's the beating that I get from my family.
Well, I think you look pretty good at it.
Well, so. God bless. I think I do too. And they better buy some shirts because I think we're looking to get some shirts. Looking to get some merchandise. Yeah. So people, please purchase some stuff because this is good stuff. This is a good picture. It's going in the bar downstairs.
Makes me want to go back to my Lemmy beard.
Yeah. So, Cable, you got a couple different looks in there. Bubba and I kind of stayed the same. But you had a couple different. You had a couple different the looks, with your beard there, and that's the one he chose. So, because I just sent pictures.
I like it.
So that's what he chose. Probably to separate you from Bubba and I in our normal, typical, Yeah,
because I look about the same. Well, we all look about the same.
Hats,
weight wise. No, weight wise, I look about just like you guys.
Yeah, well, you do.
And really, you guys are like
just like in real life.
Yeah, in real life, I look just like you guys in real life. No, that's not the case.
Actually, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, me, Mav, and the guy from 30 Rock. That's cool.
Regardless, I love it. I thought he did a good job. Like, I literally laughed out loud probably for about 5 minutes when he sent me the first proof. I had him revamp a couple of things, like with the Triple B Trio and the Triple B Experience logo down there.
Right.
But because I wanted to include that. But yeah, no, I thought he did a great job, and you guys look great. So.
Oh yeah, he did awesome.
Yeah, kudos to him. It looks fantastic.
two thumbs up, and hopefully everybody wants to purchase. Get a hold of us once we get stuff. You know me, I'll put it out there, and we're looking like koozies, pictures. It's funny. It's nice to put in your, wherever you want to put it up at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it now before we blow up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Because that picture almost broke the internet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. And we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for staying. And keep spreading the word for us. We greatly appreciate it. Bigger things on the horizon. But gentlemen, we might as well kind of get into some things because, as always, we've got shit to say, right? So
every day of my life.
You were never at a loss for words.
No, and when I am a loss for words, guys, I must be real pissed off. I said that to my coworker today. If I don't say nothing, I'm upset.
Yeah,
because I got the biggest mouth that I know. I don't ever shut up. But the reason why I talk a lot, it kills time, especially where I work. But it kills time. Tammy's probably like, man, shut the hell up all the time. But I don't say nothing when I go to the movies. I'm very quiet.
Well, that's good. If there's one time you need to shut the hell up, it's when somebody's watching a movie, right?
Oh yeah, especially the movie theater. I'll tell them to shut the hell up.
Well, you have caused a ruckus at the movie theater once or twice.
I cause a lot of trouble anymore lately, like older I get.
But anyway, gentlemen, first things first, I kind of want to get into Royal Rumble. Yeah, you're probably both surprised I'm even mentioning it.
I am. Who are you?
So I'm throwing you guys a curveball here. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
You don't like the Peacock Network.
You didn't miss anything.
And I don't really particularly love WWE right now. Though who the hell am I? Because according to stuff that came out recently, they've made more money than they ever have. They've hit the $1 billion mark.
Yeah, but that's because they go to Saudi Arabia, they cut talent.
To them.
Nick, what's his name? Nick Khan.
Khan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
The reason they make all that money is because the product sucks.
Yep.
Or that's the reason why the product sucks, because they don't have to change.
Yep. And people keep watching. So I put my foot down. It broke my heart. I bothered me all night that I didn't watch the Royal Rumble, to be honest with you. But enough was enough. But I don't know. I wanted to get your guys' opinion. What do you think?
Go ahead, Cable.
I'm going to say underwhelming to meh. Meh is the most positive. It just, WWE isn't entertaining right now. Like, it should be WWE because it's not entertaining. Like,
it's a shame.
It is because the Rumble is something to watch every year.
Rumble is my favorite.
Yep.
Rumble has always been my favorite, and I wasn't even excited for it. And it wasn't being negative or anything like that. It was just there wasn't a buzz going into it for me. I didn't expect anything to really surprise me, and nothing did. Like, they're just so stagnant right now. Creatively, effort-wise, it feels like they just they're not trying.
Goldberg has just come back to the WWE.
Oh, no, gosh, I'm not even watching. Which
Friday? I'm telling you.
I forgot it was Friday.
I put it on just, you know what I mean? But I'm like, what? See, this is the bullshit, you guys. I agree with you guys on this. Mm-hmm. This is the stuff that they have great talent that's sitting there and getting a paycheck. And
they did before they all got fired.
Yeah, well, no Cesaro. Cesaro was not in the Rumble.
Right.
Finn Balor, not in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But
or even
Johnny Knoxville was in it?
Yeah.
I see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He stiffed the hell out of AJ Styles, though.
Good shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he laid it in thick, and then AJ, gave him a receipt. But I guess they talked about it beforehand, and AJ was like, "Yeah, I'll let you take a shot, but make it count," or something. That's what I heard, at least.
That was my pick. AJ was my pick for the Rumble.
I thought you were gonna say Johnny Knoxville.
No. And the ladies was
it still would have been more entertaining than the guy that won. But anyway, so we kind of left. This is kind of what happened in the ladies' Rumble. What are your thoughts on that?
Hate it.
That wasn't. She's a big name, and I do like Ronda Rousey, but she just had her kid. she just didn't look. Well, she's dressed in black. She's not like, with the shorts, and she's just not ready to be in there. She didn't do
and it's
good.
She'll be gone after WrestleMania. They brought her
right.
back.
It's the same thing as Lesnar and everybody.
Yep.
There's people that bust their ass in that company year round. I thought it was going to be Liv. I was thinking Liv or maybe Sasha. I
just figured Lita, because then her and Charlotte, that's what I figured, that she could actually pick the match, but I was wrong on that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I would agree with this call.
But Mickie James coming out with the Impact title and her own theme song from Impact was a big thing. Like, that was one of the biggest things that I thought. That and Seth Rollins coming out in the Shield attire. Like, I thought that was huge.
Okay. So what was the storyline behind that again? I have not watched in some time.
Which one?
About Seth Rollins coming out in his Shield.
Well, him and Roman are feuding, and he just do some mind games. He come out with through the crowd with the Shield. That was the first match. That was the opening match. Okay. But then it was a good match, and then Roman choked him, and he wouldn't.
Rollins' face now.
Well, in that match.
No. Yeah. See, they're doing a lot of stuff that it doesn't even make sense face and heel wise. Like, they're just doing.
He was getting
whatever.
Cheered. Roman was getting booed, and then he wouldn't. Break the 5 count, and then he lost by, disqualification. And then they went right into the ladies' rumble.
Okay.
And a lot of botches too. Melina lasted about as long as a 16-year-old kid at homecoming.
Yeah, well, she didn't look good.
No, well, she looked better. She looked better, Mav, than she did on NWA, because she did look better. So she must have been training for this.
Well, she's still.
Once you hit a certain age, too. Yeah. I mean, not that she's old, but she's not in her prime or anything, and that's.
I get that, but then your wardrobe needs to adjust with your age.
Well, I think she slipped off the. I think she slipped off the apron when what the hell is her name? The boss put her over, and she slipped off. Yeah, Sasha. Yeah, I can't remember. And then boom, that was it. I'm telling you, 10 seconds. That was it. And she was number 2. Sasha was number 1.
Okay.
And then, like I said, they just had a couple botched moves. And then,
well, that's what happens when you pull all these retired women wrestlers back in. Kelly. Dude, I will give Kelly props, man. That bump that she took, holy shit. So, they did a spot with her and Sasha where she was doing essentially like a handstand on the apron, like her back was to the ropes, and Sasha kicked through the ropes, and she just did a front bump from apron high, flat on the mat. Didn't like break or fall like the ringside mats. And you just heard this thud, and that was what always killed me when we were training and stuff. I couldn't do front bumps. I didn't have enough meat on my bones. Fucking hurt everything.
I couldn't do back bumps. We're good.
So. What percentage of the females match was actually active roster?
Like 60?
Yeah, probably 60, 65. I mean, you had Lita, you had Michelle McCool, you had the Bella twins, which was, I don't even know why they were in there. Kelly, you had
Melina.
You had Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they pulled her up. She I don't know,
because they didn't have anybody.
They don't. Well, that's true too. They brought back
the Viking
Logan.
Yeah, Sarah Logan.
Yeah. She didn't last long at all.
No.
So, and then Rousey just was punching and doing what she just didn't look good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, it's just a name. Try to
Charlotte's
get more
still
eyes
the best female they got
on WrestleMania.
Besides Sasha.
In Ronda eliminated Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Ronda eliminated Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, the highlight of the night, though, is Shane McMahon ruining the Rumble and then getting himself fired.
I heard. Well, yeah, I heard he. Yeah, I don't know if he got fired or quit or whatever, but yeah, he
got fired.
He caused a stink.
Who fires him? His old man?
Yeah.
His old.
He told him he's. He told him he's done because he caused too much drama backstage. And one night back, he pushed his way into booking the Rumble, and he tried to make the whole Rumble about himself. And they were like, they stop. They're, now it's all hearsay or whatever, but the story going around is that he shows up and he tries to book almost the entire Rumble around himself. And all the other producers were like, no, we have a plan.
He was producing the Rumble too, wasn't he? Wasn't he help
with other? Or yeah, that's what I mean. He tried, whatever, produce book. He tried to produce the whole Rumble, like the whole match around him. And then the other producers were like, well, we got this plan. They adjusted some stuff. So he winds up in the final 3. He gets into a strike bout with, a legit MMA guy, Riddle, and Shane McMahon's strikes are the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
They're weak. So
Riddle's got to sell to that. He eliminates Owens, maybe Zayn, I can't remember, but it was just a shit show.
He looked like shit, and realistically, he's a better heel, not doing anything in a ring. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say something real quick. Jason Reese, the legends they brought in back weren't in the Rumble long, must have been paid a good sum of money for the 15 minutes of TV time. And thanks, Jason. For coming in. Jason's part of the Pro Wrestling Extreme podcast guys out there. Nice. So thanks, Jason, for popping in.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. But so this was the end of the Rumble. This is what we saw.
I didn't even think that I totally forgot about him. Like I totally forgot about Brock. And then they brought Drew McIntyre, who was injured.
How'd you forget about Brock? You texted us.
I just didn't fucking. I don't know.
You texted us and said after he lost to Lesnar.
Did I say that?
Lost to Lashley.
Yeah, you did.
I did, but I didn't pick him. I didn't pick him though because I picked AJ, and I wanted AJ to win the Rumble because I want AJ to win the Rumble in his career at WWE, and I figured this was the year, and he was doing really, really good. That almost guy, I don't know. He should go back to play fucking something else because wrestling, I don't know. It's terrible. Like they have so much great talent, and then they had Bad Bunny, which. They gave him a spot because he's doing national recording stuff, who's been training. But Apollo Crews is on the sidelines. Cesaro, who should be a world champion somewhere, was playing backgammon or something back there. So and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny actually put some people out.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't do that, but everything I heard from around WrestleMania time last year, backstage is really big on him. Like even the workers, because he really put time and effort in and trained and stuff. So he won the locker room over, and then somehow he is the biggest musical artist on Spotify. I don't know how that's like. Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
We're the biggest podcast on Spotify.
And then you woke up.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
I don't get my stuff. I think he's great on what he does, but we didn't see any big like old legends coming out in the guy stuff except for Shane McMahon. And that was Shane.
Yeah.
I can't believe Vince fired him. And then you know what happened? His grandmother died last weekend too. She passed away.
Oh yeah.
So Vince was probably fucked off. And then his kid was trying to run ramp shot, and his mom just died. And he's like, "Your grandma just died, so now you're fired." I just can't see him.
You're fired.
I just can't see him. How could he fire his own kid? Like
it's Vince.
Yeah, it's Vince. What the hell does he care?
I can't see. Yeah. Like I could see him. Like, hey, look, you're gonna take some time off, but actually getting fired from the company. Like I understand he gave Triple H a heart attack.
Well, there was a tweet. I'd credit them if I could remember who it was. They summed it up perfect. They said it's been a long time coming, and they had 2 tweets from Vince. One was wishing John Cena happy birthday, and it had like almost every character was probably taken up with him just gushing over John Cena. And then right next to it was him wishing Shane a happy birthday, and just said happy birthday, and then at Shane McMahon.
Well, then Christmas time is not good. And honestly, if Cena would have showed up as the Peacemaker, I would have fucking popped so huge for Cena if he would have came out and did the dance going down the ring.
Guys, whoa.
That'd have been awesome.
We're going to try to get into Peacemaker here.
I know, but I mean, just him at the Rumble.
But I just have to say something since you mentioned the music. I usually like if the beginning scenes of like the intros, come on, I usually will skip them. Like,
Right.
But this one, I do not. I love
not
it.
once. Yeah,
Like,
I watch it all the time. It's the best opening of any
great.
TV show I've ever seen because it's Cena dancing.
And he's so stiff as hell. Like,
and then he's breathing heavy, holding that little midget, the judo master. Yeah. And he's like, and then the fucking Eagly shows up, and I'm like,
oh, it just fits the show. Everybody gets a turn.
Yeah.
Even oh god,
didn't like the Drew Carey show or something do that where they were all
dancing
I never watched Drew Carey.
What?
Because
oh my god, that's one of the most underrated '90s sitcoms of all time.
I think they did a dance thing at the beginning. Didn't
they did a couple. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they would do a dance thing. So
I just watched.
I love that.
Over Thanksgiving break, I watched 8 seasons straight of Drew Carey show because I haven't watched it in so long.
Holy hell!
Yeah, I love that show.
Wow.
Yeah, they were on for a decade.
Well, I know he's whatever.
Anyway, we got to get some other things. I don't know.
I give it
20 minutes.
I'm going to give it
21 minutes on WWE.
A B minus because
what's the Rumble?
I'll give a C.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. A C plus. C plus.
All right, I'm going D.
Okay,
D.
I'll give a C plus.
I'm going to give it an F minus because I didn't even watch it.
Well,
How about that?
Well,
I'm
I
sticking
tell
to
you
my
what.
guns, guys.
Hey, AEW still is exciting for me. So
if somebody wants me to watch WrestleMania, they better invite me to their house because I'm not paying.
I will at WrestleMania.
So I don't need. Oh gosh, I can't.
It'll be Bad Bunny versus fucking Johnny Knoxville in a street fight, refereed by special guest referee Shane McMahon, who comes out of the woodwork just because his old man fired him, and he was like, "F you, Vince," and then he beats the shit out of Steph, and then Triple H comes and saves him, and he has a bad ticker and has a heart attack.
Okay, enough of that. Until he's done, then I'll bring him back. Okay, you done?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool down period.
Yeah, we just got to let you simmer down a little bit. We literally spent 22 minutes on WWE. Not worth that. Anyway, AEW real quick. The main event on Dynamite was awesome. Bubba, you had to appreciate that match, right?
I did.
Good old school wrestling. You're picking a body part. You're doing the classic, you're choking them, it's the discreet choke.
Mm-hmm.
Just they put out all the old school gimmick like ways to put MJF over. Then we saw the return of the Pepsi plunge.
And I'm glad that cool. They put him over too.
Yeah. I mean, if Punk's there to put guys over, MJF's the guy to do it, and I think that's why they're in this feud. And I think, Punk probably has a lot of respect for MJF. So,
yeah.
I honestly didn't know how good of a match it was actually going to be because they're both not the two flashiest guys there, and to be honest with you, I like CM Punk, but he's not a natural athlete, right? Like, he doesn't do a lot. He does enough.
He usually doesn't look crisp.
Yeah.
But that goes back to his Ring of Honor days and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just him. And I was like, I was kind of worried about it, how much hype it was getting.
But that was about 40 minutes, about 35, 40 minutes.
They set up the story over weeks, but they give some of these matches away on TV, which I don't know if I like or not like. But
they have AEW has a long build up because they only do like 4 pay-per-views a year. So
it's great.
Yeah. I'm sure that's only the beginning.
Yeah. Well, that's how you set up. Yeah. They're definitely not done. They can't. Right.
Right.
I'm still thinking we're going to end up seeing Wardlow as a face turn eventually here. I just wanted to mention that. I know we don't want to talk a lot about, AEW, or wrestling in general, but I just want to.
Well, eventually we do when it gets good again.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to the Royal Rumble stuff because we didn't do it unscripted. We did the interview last week. So
great interview, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't seen it, go check out our limited edition with Kevin Hilliker. Comic book artist. So go back and watch that. It was great. Oh, there's Craig. We were waiting for you to come on.
Hey, man.
No worries. You're here now.
Yeah, Craig, you missed my whole spiel, and then Mav threw me off. I just got back on.
I had to put him in the principal's office.
Yeah,
so I got timeout.
Penalty box.
He was getting a little hyper there. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't have an energy drink. I don't know what's going on.
I don't believe that.
I didn't have an energy drink, no.
Anyway.
What are you drinking now?
I'm drinking water.
Out of a can?
I haven't had a beer. I haven't had a beer in a couple weeks either. I haven't had alcohol since we lost to Kansas City. I haven't had any alcohol since.
Well, tonight's the night then, Bubs, while you're watching Pam and Tommy.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
Anyway, gentlemen, Wow, that's all I can say. The Book of Boba Fett. I'll be honest with you, the show's not even about Boba Fett at this point.
And I don't mind.
You know what?
I think it's about everybody.
Yeah, but the best episodes don't even have Boba Fett in them.
He's barely in it. He was barely in the last one. It's kind of crazy. I think I text you guys in the group text that I feel like they're almost using Boba Fett to kind of put over the Mandalorian into the next season, right?
But his story's already been told, though. The story now is against the Pike and all the people that can help him out. So all his backstory is already ready to go, and now the story is Fett and the Mandalorian with everybody fighting the Pike.
I almost feel like if you're going to relate this to a book, right? It's like the interlude, in a lot of ways. But I don't know. It's just weird. It just doesn't sit with, like, couldn't you call it something different? Like, seriously. And this is what I'm saying. I think Boba Fett was originally only supposed to be 3 or 4 episodes.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
I think they added this stuff with the Mandalorian to help tie it in, transition into the next season. But yeah, let's kind of break into it here. I think where we left off last time.
I think we had a comment. Did you guys see that also?
Yeah, it was Craig. He mentioned about the latest Book of Boba Fett. Holy fan service. So I had it there on the screen.
Well, the Book of Boba Fett shows how he got out of Sarlacc pit, how he did what he was going to do, and getting ready for this war. So they don't want to show. And I don't know how they're going to end. They're not going to end it in one episode. It's going to go to season 3 of Mandalorian.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
going to be a cliffhanger.
Sure. There's going to be. Yeah, it's gonna tie in, but we got to wait till freaking Christmas to,
Yep.
So
that blows my mind.
Yeah, because if they filmed these at the same time, there's no reason they couldn't get that out sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they like crazy ass CGI or something.
They like it during Christmas time because that's how usually, you know what I mean. There's the big ratings for the Mandalorian, and that's why.
We could have Christmas in July.
Sell toys.
Well,
sell toys for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, Star Wars has been trending towards Christmas because a couple of the movies came out in December too.
Yeah.
They like that May or December, either or, which I would prefer they go May.
Yeah, the original ones, guys, it was all in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Which makes sense because a lot of kids are off school.
Mm-hmm.
But what the hell do I know?
Well, they are for Christmas break too.
Yeah, I guess so. So, Chapter 5, The Return of the Mandalorian. So the title alone gave it away. But it was, 50-minute runtime, released on January 26th. Gentlemen, I always give the rating, and this was a great rating. They got a 9.4 out of 10, which is pretty damn good on IMDb. So, compared to the other ones that are in, I believe, like 7s, one might even have been like a high 6. It was, but mainly they're averaging 7-8 for the Book of Boba Fett. This one, Mandalorian returns, the Darksaber returns, and they're in the mid 9s. So that's saying something. Directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, which she's great. Everything
they want her to do a Star Wars movie out of this.
They should.
And she did, I think, last year's one of the episodes of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But people were bitching on how cheap it was, about how they were in a cooler, and the special effects. People would bitch about everything, about how the special effects looked cheesy in a on the way it was, But
I thought it looked great.
I thought it did too. Like, I don't get into people just have something to bitch about. But he was badass.
I'm a big stickler for CGI. I've mentioned that a lot on this show, and I didn't have any issues with anything in this episode.
No, I thought the episode was great. It was brilliant. Wow. I mean, you see the Darksaber, and he's like dragging the dang thing. Like
I didn't know. I guess you have to be able to use it because everybody else is do it, and he just doesn't understand her, I guess.
Yeah, and my mind was thinking that he was going to actually go see Luke, see Grogu, right? But he was going to try to get Luke to teach him how to use this thing, right? But we're getting to episode 6 here. But what stood out to you for 5?
Well, I actually loved the intro or not the intro, but the beginning part of the episode, since you mentioned it, Bubba, because Star Wars, if it isn't anything, it's homage to a mashup of genres.
Yeah.
It's a Western, it's this and that. That was straight up gangster.
Yeah.
That was Sopranos at the strip club. That was you had
Right.
these mob guys in the back in the cooler,
Yep.
going over all the credits or whatever they're doing back there. But I loved it. I just refreshed myself with the episode before we caught on here. I watched it like an hour before we got on, and so I have a right in my memory here, and I actually love the cooler episode or the cooler part of the show. So
well, he didn't have Grogu, and he could be a badass without worrying about the kid. And
right.
I mean, when he cut the head off and put it in a bag, I mean that's just being a bad. He just didn't care because now he doesn't have that that asset of worrying about the situation. So now he could just go full throttle.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Right off the bat, like again, I thought it was great. The cooler scene. Actually, here, let me bring up.
I just didn't know. I just thought they were bringing it in to him, to introducing the Mandalorian and getting him to where, like,
yeah, I mean, that's like a perfect shot. That's awesome. And as soon as he walked through and you heard the music, dude, that music hits like nothing else does.
Well, I knew it wasn't Boba Fett. I knew it wasn't Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the, the title alone, you knew what this episode was going to be about.
But I figured they might bring him in at the end of the episode.
Yeah, exactly. Little did they know, the whole damn episode was about the Mandalorian, right? And the Darksaber. So, it was great. It was awesome.
The whole series is good.
Yeah,
I think they need more than these episodes that they have. Like this is a 10 or 12, or it could be a 15 because
they could draw it out more if they wanted to. The one episode was only a half hour long, like 38 minutes.
Yeah, that's what Disney Plus does, and I kind of commend them on this. They did it with all the MCU shows. Also, they make the episode as long as it needs to be to tell the story. Like, because they had a couple that went over an hour somewhere in the MCU shows. I can't remember where. When they had a couple
minutes or
I thought the one was like an hour and a minute, but I can't remember now. But they don't shoot for a certain amount of time. They don't have to. They don't have commercials and things like that. So they're able to tell just the story they want to tell, and then the time is an afterthought. So I like that. But yeah, a half hour in this was not this episode, but in the series was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like consistency. Like Peacemaker is like a consistent 40 to 50 minutes, somewhere around there, So I kind of like that. But again, it's been a good series overall. It's just weird to me. Again, how it's called the Book of Boba Fett, but we're seeing a lot of the Mandalorian. I get it, and I don't hate it. I like it. I think my favorite episodes are the last two, right?
Right.
But it's just kind of strange to me.
Well, eventually, Boba, the Boba that everybody knows, when he killed all those bikers, you're going to see something tragic is going to happen, and he's going to just go off because he is the most ruthless. As I've looked up the bounty hunters in the Star Wars lore, he's still the number one baddest bounty hunter of them all. Like the Mandalorian.
I don't know if he will be by the end of the show, though. Seems like they're softening him.
He has evolved,
right. Mm-hmm.
But he's healed up, and if he gets pissed off, like he just killed those bikers without even a thought.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you noticed in this episode he was told that he would have to go back to the what was it? The dried up. I'm paraphrasing.
The mines.
The mines. Yeah, so it was like a dried up mine or dried up.
I didn't think he was going to say. I didn't think he was going to say anything. I thought he was going to be like, "Well, I'm not telling you that I took the helmet off."
Well, I think that's what the next episode is going to be about. It's going to be about him going back.
The whole series, the next after
the
this fight.
Yeah, I'm talking about the series. Sorry,
yeah,
episode. I misspoke. Yeah,
probably 3 and 4. It's going to take a while. 3 and 4. It's not going to be.
Yeah, and then eventually we're going to see this probably the Mandalorian War, so to speak.
That's not done yet. They have so much to do.
Yes, they have
much.
They have a ton to do.
A thing I like that they're doing, and they're not beating anybody over the head with it, and maybe it's all up to everybody's analysis, or how they comprehend it, but very thinly laid on. I think the look at Mandalorian is almost a comparison to religion, like just regular religion. Mm-hmm. And like in that last season, Mando finds out, Mando finds out that there's not many of his kind left that don't take off the helmets. Mm-hmm. And he's here with her, and she's like a hardcore Mandalorian. Yeah. And she's like, shaming him for taking off his helmet. And like, there's a lot of connections that could be made with, people and how deep they are into religion and stuff like that. So that's a interesting angle that they're not forcing it on anybody, but a lot can be read there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Because I'm drawing a blank on the name of the other Mandalorians.
Oh, there's
Bubba. What's the other one?
With brother,
Sasha Banks and
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, with Bo-Katan. But what's the name of their the Night Watch?
Oh, there's so. Anyway. We'd have to have a sheet, Mav, and it's like
But comparing the two, they do take off their helmets.
They do, yeah.
But they do take off their helmets.
And they did in the Clone Wars too. Even in the animated stuff, they took their helmets off.
And she told them, she said something along the lines of, everybody takes their helmets off now, or whatever. I can't remember how she said it, but
yeah.
Well, he's just so into the practice, like you said, Cable, of that part of that stigma of that type of religion, and he's not swaying.
Right.
Well, I mean, he did sway when he took the helmet off. But.
So I have to ask, what do you think of the new ship?
I love it.
It's too small.
I love it.
I think it's too small. It's fast, but it's too small. So, I mean, the only thing he could do is have a droid in the back.
No, it's where Grogu is going to sit.
Well,
after he takes the armor instead of the lightsaber.
Well, but then there's going to be a situation with Luke, and there's going to be a situation with the Mandalorian and Skywalker.
Here's the thing. Also, after the Jedi Temple ends up burning down, and Kylo Ren.
That is coming, but from what I hear, they are going to make it Luke Skywalker the canon of how he was a badass in last year's end, and they're gonna.
That's what I hear.
They're gonna try to make they're gonna do a Skywalker series now too, and the graphics were a lot better this time. And I can't believe that he actually had to make him choose anyway, because.
Well, no, in actuality, I think that's smart.
Well,
we kind of get into that. We can get into episode 6 here, but I thought episode 5 was great. What's the name of the actress? Cable, you probably know the crazy lady that was helping him with the ship.
I don't know her name, but yeah,
great.
She's great,
man. I like her. I enjoy her. She does a good job. I feel bad. I'm gonna have to look that up.
She is. I can't look nothing up because I got the screens open. She's a big time comedian. She did a couple shows. Mm-hmm. She's like in her 60s.
Yeah, no, she's great. But
she is.
Chapter 6 is called "From the Desert Comes a Stranger." So it got a 9.6 out of 10. Guys, that's phenomenal, and it deserves it.
It does.
Really great episode. As Craig mentioned earlier, a lot of fan service in this. Not complaining. Nobody.
Same here.
But wow. So, the Mandalorian ends up going to see Luke and Grogu, and he gets there and he sees all these spider-looking machines, right? And they're carrying heavy shit, and they're building this thing. And to be honest with you, I don't know how I didn't know this, but I didn't realize they were building the Jedi Temple right away. I don't know. Did you, Bubba?
Mm-hmm.
Did you realize that that's going on? See, it just didn't dawn on me that that's what they were doing.
I didn't know it was getting built like that with all the spider robots, but
I thought it was the buildings from the Last Jedi on the island when Rey went and found Skywalker.
No.
I thought that's what they were. Like, not, I knew it wasn't the island, but I was thinking it was the same buildings.
And I knew, I'm sorry, go ahead, Cable.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, as soon as I could tell, as soon as he was flying and R2D2's thing, you know, I knew that was R2 because I told Tammy, that's R2D2. But yeah, and then R2 shuts down, and then they build him a bench.
Yeah, so he's laying on the Mandalorian's laying on Din Djarin, I should say, is laying on the bench, and then he gets a visitor, which I wasn't expecting in this at all. So, you know, I really felt there was fan service, but when you see Ahsoka Tano, I did not really expect that at all in this episode at all. Not one bit.
And I don't think fan service is a bad thing. You know, it's especially because we weren't beat over the head with it the whole show. I mean, we were some, you know, but fan service can be used. Good. I mean, that's Endgame. Endgame was all fan service, you know, but as long as it fits the narrative and everything, then that's great.
Yeah. No, but they end up having a conversation, and then essentially what happens is he talks Din Djarin into not seeing Grogu. And, you know, he had the armor made up and the nice little bandana that was tied very similar to what Grogu looks like, right? With the ears.
Yeah.
So basically he gives it to Ahsoka Tano to give to Luke, to give to Grogu. And throughout this episode, we see Grogu training. And, you know, a lot of the gripe in Star Wars is, you know, especially with Rey and some of the other ones, is they didn't have enough time to train, right? So
they never do. They never do.
No. So we got to see some training, right? We got to see Grogu in training. Interesting, you know, he wants to eat frogs and he's not paying attention. You know, he's like a kid with ADHD, and but Luke's going, you know, you want one frog or do you want all the frogs, right? Like, this is what you can do if you learn the Force, and then, you know, all the frogs are popping up. You can have as many frogs as you wish, right?
But I think he already knows a little bit more in the Force, but I think somebody mentally blocked his mind on how to use it, and he is probably more knowing of what's going on and what happened. And when Luke touched him and mind melded with him,
what did you guys see? What did you guys see there?
He's seen everything. He's seen him coming.
66.
He's seen him coming, and they were going to kill him. And somebody, and there's speculation as I've watched a couple stuff. It's and I don't know every Jedi known to mankind. I wish I did, but I believe it's I think it's Mace Windu, or it's the librarian. The librarian, the lady who's white, who's still a major part of the comic books, and I just can't remember her name right offhand. She was in the the Attack of the Clones, talking to Obi-Wan in the library.
Okay.
She's a Jedi, and I think and that's speculation that it was her, but I think it was Mace Windu with one arm trying to get him out of there or something, because Jedis fall from many feats and you know, from the air, but he knows he is more trained than what we're seeing on the TV show. That's just my interpretation of it.
That could be. Like you said, he could have that mental block. He doesn't want to use it.
Yeah, because Luke had the line about he's remembering more than I'm training him. Yep. Or, you know, he's remembering and less than I am training. I don't know. It's not coming out the way I wanted to, guys, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, here's the thing. What's one of the major things that Ahsoka Tano said here that really stuck out to me was Luke was basically, they were having dialogue and saying that he's not progressing, right? And it's like he's not paying attention, right? And then Ahsoka Tano says, kind of like your father. And look what happened there. So essentially, guys, we've seen a story that has turned, you know, to the dark side. We've seen a story with Kylo Ren that's kind of turned to the light side in a lot of ways, right? We haven't seen one that just really turned it down and said, heck with this, I don't want to do it. Maybe we'll see that here. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But at the end, Luke's giving him a choice.
Eventually, he's going to be both.
Do you want this
Eventually.
lightsaber? Yeah, there's been one in they mention it in chapter 5, but there's only been one that's been Mandalore and Jedi.
Yeah.
So which I don't know the backstory of that. I would like to look that up.
Plus, he's still young. They're long. Those creatures, him and Yoda, are long living. Like Yoda lived to be 800 and some years old. He's only 50 or 60 years old, so he's just a kid.
But but he basically gets the choice. He gets Yoda's lightsaber, or he gets the armor from.
But guys, did they do the choice at the season ending, or did they wait till the Mandalorian? Because
probably
there's a lot of there's still more stuff going on. Like
there's so much to go on here.
It was nice to have the Western setting. And I can't think of his name. The sheriff that had the Boba Fett armor. Me Oliphant's character. I can't think of his name.
Banff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to see that back.
Yeah, which was that started the episode of 6.
Right.
Which was cool, which I wasn't expecting that. And basically he's stopping Spice from going through, the town. Basically trying to stop that. And I guess Spice, I don't know the whole backstory on Spice, Bubba. Maybe you know more about it, but I bet essentially it's like a drug.
Yeah, it's money, like, it's power, it's the cartel.
And he's
from Dune.
That's a lot of people saying they ripped it
off.
Yeah,
no, you're right, Cable. You're right.
But he would have probably had enough spice there to last him a lifetime, right? And what did he do? He kicked it over, right? So he kind of proved that which side he was on there. But near at the end of the episode there, his will was tested again.
He was asked to join.
Yep.
Because Din went to ask him because they met up at Boba Fett. The only 10 seconds of Boba Fett we saw, and I just I want to see more of the Wookiee.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're going to see him fight probably in this last episode. Because I'm assuming there's going to be a big epic.
I've been researching him and watching a lot of videos of his history.
Yeah.
And like he worked for Vader.
Yeah, you love the fact he worked for Vader.
I mean, he is such a badass, and I just want to see more of him. But this one episode, and I think next year he'll be in a Mandalorian too. These guys aren't, but then Din Djarin had to go and talk to him and try to get the people of the town to eventually it's going to be on their doorstep, and they have to and it is
Mm-hmm.
And it came to their doorstep real quick. Like the Pike didn't fuck around. Like they're like, hey, they're like this. They're like the Italians.
The way it was shot and everything, because I'm not. This might be blasphemy or whatever, but Star Wars for me, I'm not a huge fan of Tatooine and the desert. Like I like the other locations and stuff, more vibrant and stand out, but it just fits, obviously it's got Western motifs and everything. And then you get into a standoff like that.
You hate the sand.
Yeah. It gets everywhere. It's coarse.
Yeah. But no cowboy comes walking 300 miles. Like he like they get on a horse and then they go into town. They put the horse around the wood and then they get off they do like he came from. And I was like, is that who I think it is?
Yep.
Like,
I could tell from the hat. And Cable, I don't know if you didn't watch probably the Clone Wars.
No, I looked up the character after the episode.
He was a pretty historic character within the Clone Wars.
That's what I gathered. I didn't read up a lot. I just wanted to see, where the character came from and stuff. And that's kind of a cool thing for me, with not being as steeped in the Star Wars lore as you guys are. Some of this stuff I'm just experiencing as a complete noob. Like I don't know any of it, and like he sent that picture of the figure into the group chat. Like that's a striking character, especially in live action. He looked great.
He was awesome character in Clone Wars, and I always loved his voice.
That's
I thought he had a really cool voice, and I was glad they got the same voice actor, I guess, come in and play him.
They did.
So,
but he also that character. There's a thing, a meme or something of the good and the bad and the ugly, and he is Lee Van Cleef of the bad in that movie.
Yeah.
You know, and Din Djarin is the good. I can't remember who the ugly is, but yeah, I mean, I never thought that I figured he was coming eventually, but I didn't think it was going to be like now.
But it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
it makes complete sense. And great character. Really, really great character. I'm excited to see him.
They're going to bring every character from the book or the comic book that no one's ever seen, or the cartoon of the Rebels. They're all going to be coming out. Every single one of them.
Well, I'm sure they figured out the secret. It is, we've seen enough of the Skywalker family. Like, it's such an expansive universe, and there's so many cool characters out there. They're just, by bringing all these characters that have never been in live action before, you just get a pop in every new arrival.
Yeah, and he looked so good too. He looked really good. But yeah, thanks, Craig. Yeah, spice comes from Kessel. It is rumored to be a hallucinogen. So yeah,
I need some of that drug.
Nah. You start taking that, I'm gonna have to put you in the
cut me off.
Yeah. Monster's enough for you.
Yeah.
Water, guys.
You had a can earlier.
No, I didn't have. No, I didn't. I had one yesterday. I do the rain one. I don't do the Monster, but and there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot. The comic books now. They're doing so much. The Crimson. You're probably going to see Crimson Dawn in this too. Like, you're going to see. I don't even know. Like, those Pike are some evil motherfuckers. You know what? And that kind of pissed me off. And I knew at the end there, when those two little bastards walked in with the container.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, I get ahead of myself.
So we see the shootout, right?
Okay.
And Cobb Vanth goes down. I'm not convinced he's dead.
He's not.
I don't think he is. He got hit in the shoulder from what I've seen, I think.
His definitely is though.
So I'm not. Yeah.
That dude's dead or the doornail.
Yeah, but I think he's still alive. So after that,
he got shot right in the shoulder.
Yeah. Right. So I still think we'll see, his town evolved in this war at some point.
Do you think, the bartender that came out to help him is also a bartender in the TV show Deadwood. Okay. And they both were in the same TV show because he was in Deadwood also. And the guy plays a bartender in both shows.
Okay.
Which was cool. But I think, honestly, I believe he might get some armor due to the fact that he got shot because he gave up his Boba Fett armor to,
Yeah, because he told him you should have kept your armor or whatever he said.
But how did he know? How did he know that he had armor before? Like, they must have given him some intel.
That, or maybe there was a reputation of the sheriff walking around in armor, Mandalorian armor.
Right. Yep. He was the marshal.
But they would know it would be Boba Fett's, though, right? Wouldn't you think they know it would be
and that would probably add to the lore. Who's this guy walking around wearing his shit?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
But then go ahead, Bubba, with the scene with the Pike.
Well, I mean, it was the two Pike go into the bar, and they don't get their helmets taken off like we saw Boba Fett. They did in the first episode or second episode with the dancers. And then all of a sudden Jennifer Beals is talking and looking around, and they set that canister down, which that canister, I watched the video. That's a big thing for like Star Wars days or something. That canister, like, people dress up and they have the canister.
Yeah, it was.
You probably know.
Yeah, I forget what it was. It's a big thing at like the.
It was a small minor character.
It was like an ice cream thing. I mean,
it's a homemade ice cream maker. Yeah. There was an extra in the back of Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
And everybody had something to do, and he was just an extra. So he just grabbed this. It was never in a script or it was never planned. He grabbed this and just walked, did his scene holding it.
Running
and
through,
it's become Star Wars lore. Yeah.
And that's what happened. All those containers of the gold and stuff are based off of that container.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When the Pike had, and then the two Pike get up, and when they leave something, I'm like, oh shit! It's like when they leave something, it's like something's gonna happen, and boom. The whole
gangster vibes all through this. Yeah,
and it's a shame, my boy Friggin' Dan was in there rocking out, just doing his job, man.
Was he in there?
Yeah, he was in there. He was in there earlier playing. He was jamming out whenever.
Maybe he took a break.
So I hope so.
I mean, the whole band, like, they could, like, it'd be like
you can't play 24/7. Yeah.
No, you got to take a break. It'd be like Leonard Skinner or something.
I don't know. I need a report. Somebody needs to tell me what happened.
We're gonna have to find out. I don't know.
Maybe Cable tweet somebody. Find out. Tweet anybody.
I'll scour the interwebs through the Twitters.
Now, if they did pass those action figures that just jacked up from here to here, probably.
Yeah. Get a hold of Filoni or something. Just somebody.
Well, that's who directed this episode.
Well,
that's who did this episode.
Oh, did he? I didn't catch that.
It was an awesome episode.
And they want him to be like, I just watched this video. These guys, they want him to do it because he has the vision of Lucas. Favreau does too, but not as good as Filoni. I mean, he's just like a notch.
Favreau's got a lot of pokers and a lot of different fires. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense. And I think a good way to surmise where these last two episodes have put us in a grander thought is to a lot of people's chagrin, probably. Mm-hmm. Disney buying Lucasfilms was the best thing that happened to the Star Wars since the early days.
And they're going to do it right now. These videos I've been watching, they are going to do it right, and they can't go back to they can't go to the movies and fix the last three movies that were done. They can't do that.
No, but they can make everything better going forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think they will do, especially with Filoni and Favreau. I think they'll do a really good job.
And if they're doing it like
what's with Kathleen Kennedy doing with all this?
Hopefully she's not doing anything.
Well, she's still signed. They just signed her again. But what role does she actually play?
Maybe she just is seen and not heard.
Well, why? Why do you sign her? Just put Filoni up there.
Because maybe Dave can't be the top because his creative mind has him directing stuff.
He's probably on the creative side and she's on the business side. Is what I would imagine.
Hopefully she's just seen and not heard. And then
if she's smart, just sit back and let the money roll in.
Yeah. I mean, you would be because there's so much stuff going on. Like I just said, like I just heard a Skywalker show's coming. I don't know how they're doing that.
That's what I heard, and I will say this: nobody can complain about the CGI in this. Actually, I didn't think the first time, and
I didn't complain about
it was that bad either.
No, I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was good, and then this one was phenomenal. Like I did not expect to see, if we were going to see him, I thought we were going to see him from afar, very little things, but he had a lot of dialogue.
Yeah,
we saw him up close. It did great.
We can't bitch about any of this stuff because I never thought as we do it like when we do with the MCU. I can't bitch. We can we want to make it a little better, but realistically, it's the best stuff going because we never.
Yeah, you can nitpick and stuff, but like Bubba, you've been watching it since since it came out.
Since I was 138 pounds.
And did you ever think
like 6 months old?
Yeah.
Did you ever think after Return of the Jedi was over, and then nothing for a long time? Then they announced prequels.
I thought it was done. The prequels, and then they re-released the old ones, which they added some stuff. I went to see. I've seen every single Star Wars movie in the movie theater.
And did you ever think you were going to see badass Vader and badass Luke Skywalker? Their story was over by the time the prequels came out.
No, I never thought I'd see the 10 minutes of Rogue One where Vader was actually Vader. I never thought I'd see that, and I never thought I'd see Luke Skywalker again, like young Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd see that. I never thought that we would have this TV. I never thought Boba Fett would be back.
Yeah.
The 5-minute Boba Fett of all those movies. You got a series, and he still wanted to it's Vader and it's Boba Fett, and then it's the Mandalorian for me. Those are my, and I like Solo, so those are the top, and Chewbacca. But I also like that new Wookiee, so I got 5. I can't. It's just so much. It's so much.
Yeah,
I don't know which more he has a hard on for. Pam and Tommy shows, or this Wookiee that he.
Well, I
can't tell either.
I'm thinking it's the Wookiee.
Well, he's big.
He likes him big.
Well, you know what they could have done. Had the CGI route not worked out, which it has, to what you said, Gary, they were up close. I mean, it was great.
It was great.
And the way they filmed it, like the kind of stiff dialogue, matched exactly to the way Mark Hamill played him in the early, the original movies. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Sebastian Stan, the guy playing Bucky and Tommy from Pam and Tommy. He is like his facial structure is almost identical to young Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
they did that where they. What's that?
Everybody keeps calling for him to play him.
Yeah, so that's a route they could have gone, but
the thing of it is, they just the guy that played him in this last couple episodes and the last episode of The Mandalorian apparently is no longer playing him. They casted somebody else now to play Luke moving forward.
So everybody looks like Mark Hamill.
No, it doesn't matter because you have CGI. It doesn't matter. You just got to have the body structure.
But before we end this,
they could probably make you look like Mark Hamill.
Oh, I like being. No, I don't. I rather.
They can make you definitely look like the Wookiee.
Well, Harrison Ford. I'd rather be. Well, if they made me look like
Vader, Judah.
Good. But guys, before we wrap up all this, could you imagine next week if Solo and Chewie showed up? I just thought of that.
Well, let's think about that. Would that make sense?
They could. Hey, look, they could be doing something. They could be doing some kind of whatever. They could something. Maybe
they're delivering spice.
Well, maybe they found out that Boba Fett is still alive, or something, or
something to do with the Wookiees side of it.
Yeah, because those Chewbacca and Black Krrsantan, they don't like each other anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I'm throwing a Hail Mary Tom Brady pass.
Well, I think they got enough stuff queued up for next episode.
I just didn't have to be a smart ass.
No.
Anyway.
Well, they got enough queued up for next episode, but that's the thing. The precedent they've set now is anybody can show up at any time.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Awesome. It's awesome. I can't wait till next week. I'm going to be sad when it's over. And I'm even more sad that I got to wait till Christmas to see the next Mandalorian.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's so much stuff that we got on on this Unscripted. There is so many shows coming out. And
one more thing before we try to get out of here, because we're moving on to an hour now.
Yeah, we're already time limit constrained.
So, Peacemaker. Man, how good is this show? There for a while, I was almost ashamed to admit it because it was anything that John Cena did. But give the guy
best
credit.
Stuff.
I mean,
best
this
stuff
is
ever.
him.
He's killing it. Yeah.
Do you guys know? Did you watch the last episode?
I watched the one
when he was doing the piano. That was Cena doing that himself. Yeah,
I heard that.
I was impressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
he doesn't have to go back to wrestling. He can just be Peacemaker. But the problem is, I don't know a lot of the DC with the bugs and I just don't know a lot of that stuff. If it has to be comic book related,
it's kind of nice because you're going into it with fresh eyes, and you don't have any expectations. You don't have any plot points you want them to hit that they might not hit. Like, with Marvel, we go in, we know, where they stray from the comics and things.
Well,
like
we're
that,
Marvel guys, so we get more invested in DC. But this is the most invested I've been with DC in a very long time.
Well, also, it helps that it has an 80s rock feel. That's amazing. Like, I love that. Like, it's been great. But yeah, episode 5, Monkey Dory. Let's see, 42-minute time. It got an 8.7 out of 10, which is still pretty good for IMDb. James Gunn, obviously,
It's about secrets, man. It's all Everybody knew, and except now Cena's. And when they find out that Amanda Waller is her mom, I'm telling you, because they've been dogging her the whole show. You can't trust her. I mean, that would really suck. And you got to bite your lip when someone's fucking dogging your parents, and you got to bite your lip. I mean, I like her. I like that character. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, but this episode 5, they kind of form a bond there, so to speak, and towards the end, what's her name? The actress, I believe, is Danielle Brooks. What's the Leota?
Do you guys believe that if they had the vigilante with his mask on, it would be a version of Deadpool, the way his funniness, so they keep his mask off?
It basically is Deadpool,
yeah. So
my favorite part of this is him knocking all the other characters. Like, have you ever met the Flash? Yeah, he's a real D-bag. Just like certain thing. Like, did you ever meet Superman? Yeah, and I just think it's hilarious. It's great.
And he poses.
Yeah, he poses. Yeah, I think he's just great. It really
Rubik's Cube kid or something. He was bashing the kids.
Oh yeah, right. The next Rubik's Cube winner or something. It was hilarious. But then he's just trailer trash, which is just great. Like it reminded me of the same trailer that the movie The Wrestler, right? You know what I mean? Like, guy just lives in his dumpy trailer, just living his dream. Like, it's just awesome. It's an awesome show for me. It's really going to get interesting. Now his dad's out of jail.
That's messed up, man. I cannot.
He's suiting up. He's suiting up for next episode.
Dude, and that guy plays that to a T. Like
Robert Patrick.
He just gives me the willies.
I'm gonna go kill my kid after I get my beep sucked. I'm like, holy God.
Yeah. When you hit the nail on the head there, Gary, he plays that so authentically. You feel that he would, like, he feels like a character with that background. Like, I mean, you know, white supremacist, racist, whatever you want to call him.
The costume is the one identical in the comic book, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like I said, I
don't know nothing about it, Mav, but I do watch the stuff after, you know, these guys who, you know, like it looks just and those his underlings have the hoods just like his mask with the ears.
That is just crazy stuff.
And that looks good. I mean, the costume just looks just like that. And I just don't know how. I don't know how many more episodes we got, and I just don't know how it's going to end.
I think there's only 2. I think they have.
I don't know how it's going to end. Like
HBO usually does 10.
Okay,
but I'm not sure.
Maybe it's 10, but
it might be it, but I don't know. Well, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like the end's coming soon.
Yeah.
How they do these HBO Max now? They're not like Netflix. They used to put them all out at one time. Now they just space everything out. Now
I like that.
Disney does. I do too because I don't want to. You could.
It builds up. You feel the tension more when you got to wait a week as opposed to being able to rip through the whole thing.
Yeah. Right. And then we see this.
I thought she was great, and then she got and that sheriff.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And he was good, and then he got like the whole friggin' department got taken over by the.
Yep.
I just don't understand the bugs, and then
when that butterfly, you know, flew into her mouth and stuff, we knew what it was to be controlled by a butterfly. We've seen people with that, and we saw, you know, in that earlier episode, the one guy's head blown open, the butterfly flies out. But the process, like how long that took for that thing to finally take over and bring her back, like that was not hard to watch, but like they didn't gloss over it. It wasn't just climbed into her mouth. Like you could feel that thing working its way deeper into her skull, into her brain. Like that was brutal.
Yeah. Well, they say the way it talks, you know, when it screams, when they scream, the humans scream, that is the same sound effect as Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Peacemaker found a way to talk to it by tapping on the jar. So that was interesting.
When they were sitting on the couch and he were asking questions, and he's like, "Man, shut the fuck up, man! I tell you can just ask yes or no questions." And I'm like,
"Oh, him and Vigilante is great." And I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but there was James Gunn was tweeting out about it. The guy who plays Vigilante is British, and he's got a very strong British accent, and he stayed in character the entire time, even when they weren't filming. When they'd go out for drinks after they were done, John Cena didn't know he wasn't American. And then when they finally wrapped, he used his real accent. James Gunn said Cena almost fell over. So he was so shocked that he was British.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
crazy. And you could see that those guys, like they filmed so much together because they ad-lib. You could feel it. And then they showed some of it. So they shot a lot of scenes together, but he wasn't the first choice for Vigilante either. They had to go back and reshoot 5 episodes worth of Vigilante scenes because the original actor pulled out.
Well, I'm glad they got this guy.
Why?
Me too.
They when he went to jail and he was going to go kill Peacemaker's dad, right? Like how much of a badass was he? Like this nerdy dude.
Yep.
Dressed as a vigilante, he's going in there and kicking all these guys. It was crazy. Like
it was.
Such a good actor. He reminds me of somebody that would come straight out of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
You know,
and to credit him for his range and everything. That scene you just talked about, after he kicks everybody's ass and they finally restrain him, and he can't help but blurt out, "You're a bad dad," like because he's so partial. He's right, but he cares so much for Peacemaker, and he knows, all this bullshit that his dad has done to Peacemaker, and he's so angry about it because that's his friend. And he just lets that little bit slip out, and then that's what ends up tipping his dad off.
Yep.
That was a hell of a scene.
His dad's pissed.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the big battle, I think. Besides the bugs or whatever, because I think they might extend it to another.
That was gonna be my question. Like, how are they gonna tie this? Like,
I don't know.
Like, you got this whole bugs with the whole, police barracks all now infected with these butterflies,
and we don't know what they want yet either.
They're talking about some cow that they all get food from, and then we got these Nazis or some shit over here. Like, all
it's a crazy comic. It's a crazy comic book where I heard that maybe they could have like the Green Lantern Corps come in, and they would tie it in because that's going to be an HBO Max series, or tie it in with another superhero, because this universe, they say, with the Journal, with the Wayne Foundation, is the Christian Bale logo from the Nolan Batman stuff.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I didn't get a good glimpse of the Journal, so I know she hid it under there, right?
Because her mom told her to do it.
Her mom told her to do it, right? And then
they're framing, because now they're after Peacemaker now.
Yes.
Because the Journal is public and it shows about all the crimes or whatever. And now because he's like, holy hell, because they watch it on the news.
Yeah.
Because now he's at the video store.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. It's the best DC thing like going today, and DC's got a lot of stuff coming out, but right now this is the best. James Gunn. Awesome. Words out of my mouth. James Gunn, that's credit to him. Everything he's done in Marvel or DC is spectacular.
Well,
and I'm
he's
very
done with Marvel after Guardians, so that's what
that's gonna be.
I wouldn't be shocked if they bring him back for something at some point, because I think he's a guy that wants to do as much as he can in comic book mediums and stuff. But the Guardians are done.
They're gonna change the group. The main Guardians were gonna, some of them's gonna pass, and then
I don't think we see any more Guardians movies though.
Yeah, I think
not for a while.
Yeah,
not for a while.
No, Peacemaker's on fire, man. There's a lot going on there.
Everything we talked about is on fire.
Yeah. Well, except for WWE.
Yeah. It's like burnt, whatever.
Well, one parting final thought on Peacemaker. Let's hope he doesn't, because James Gunn's the guy who made the movie Slither, if anybody's ever seen Slither.
I've seen that.
Let's hope that this cow or whatever that they're using doesn't end up looking something like that woman in the barn in Slither.
That was terrible. Yeah,
I don't know what they're getting at. I know it feeds all the
it's probably a bit. You're probably right, Cable. You're probably right.
Yeah, it's going to be something gross.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, interesting stuff. Yeah, so that I think is going to be a wrap on the show, Unscripted. We went overtime, gentlemen.
A little longer. So, well, offense scores first, the game's over, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about, spending 22 minutes on WWE, I mean, I think that's a waste of time. I wouldn't. Well, good offense.
They got 44,000 people that showed up, man. I don't know. They still get people.
I know. Well,
I don't know how.
I am not one of them. So
I know you're not, but got to take the good with the bad, and there you have the facts of life.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spider-Man No Way Home, still pulling in $1 million a day. They're saying
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That Blu-ray's coming out. It should be out soon.
Couple weeks.
But yeah, I don't know, guys. It kind of kills me. Thank goodness for AEW. That's all I got to say, because I would be wrestlingless right now, and I'd be pretty upset.
It's always good to watch old stuff. Old stuff's always good.
Yeah, well, I always watch that on the network, and I can't get that anymore.
Oh,
I'm not watching Peacock, so
no, watch it on YouTube.
You can, but
yeah.
But anyway, all right, gentlemen, I'm gonna take us home. And
okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. Please hit like, subscribe, the Triple B Experience. Thank you. Shirts will be out hopefully very, very, very soon. Great job from that artist, Mav.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.